The movie begins with Vic Van Allen riding his bicycle home after a walk in the woods. As he pulls up to the house, he removes his pants, then looks up and sees his wife Melinda looking at him. The couple has a daughter, Trixie, and they live in the state of Louisiana. As they are about to leave for a party, Chelsea's babysitter arrives. Melinda ignores her daughter and scolds her about the music, while Vic is the complete opposite, a loving and caring father towards his daughter. Vic picks out a dress for Melinda and they go to a party where they meet up with their friends, including Vic's buddies Grant and Jonas. Melinda leaves with musician Joel Dash. Vic follows them and watches them make out in the street. He returns and talks to his other friend, Mary, who expresses concern to Vic about Melinda flirting and seeing other men. But Vic says it's none of his business. Melinda tunes in and starts playing a song on the piano. Joel approaches Vic to chat. Joel says that he appreciates his peace of mind about dating his wife and that he considers him a friend. When they are alone in the kitchen, Vic casually mentions another buddy Melinda had, named Martin McCrae, who went missing a month ago. Vic threateningly tells Joel that he killed him with a hammer, and Joel takes this as a serious threat against him. Joel quickly leaves the party and Melinda tries to figure out why. She asks her husband what he said to Joel that made him leave. Vic lies and tells her he didn't say anything. After returning home and paying the babysitter, Vic takes care of his wife and gives her a massage, but she still sends him off to sleep in the other room. Rumors spread through the neighborhood that Vic killed Martin, though he claims he didn't intend to threaten Joel. His friends and neighbors don't know that Vic and Melinda have a personal arrangement. They remain together in a loveless marriage under the compromise that Melinda can have multiple partners. This news reaches Melinda and she becomes very upset with him for preventing her partners. Joel plans to move out for the weekend, so Melinda invites him to dinner and demands that Vic apologize to him. The dinner goes about as awkwardly as one would expect, and after Vic puts Trixie to bed, Trixie tells him that she doesn't like Joel. Vic goes downstairs, and while Melinda goes to the bathroom, she asks him to go apologize to Joel. He goes to give Joel another drink. Vic says that a cab came to pick Joel up, but Joel says he didn't call it, to which Vic replies that he's the one who called the cab, and it's time for the guy to get the hell out of the house. The Van Allens go to a banquet where they meet couple Don and Kelly Wilson. Don is a writer, and Vic tells him that he works part-time for a magazine company and creates web pages. Vic took early retirement because of a chip he created for a drone that is used in military operations. Don hears about Vic allegedly killing Martin and brings it up, but everyone guffaws and doesn't take it seriously. Later, Vic is dancing with Kelly and Melinda watches him and is jealous. She brings it up on the way home, and that's enough to make them run to the bedroom. Later, during Trixie's soccer game, Vic learns over the phone about a payment Melinda made to a piano teacher named Charlie. Vic goes to pick up Charlie and sits in the living room where he plays the piano, seeing that he is a handsome young man. Shortly afterward, Melinda arrives and listens to Charlie play. Later that night, it is reported that Martin's body has been found and that he has been shot. After Melinda comes home drunk, Vic tells her the news about Martin. The next day, Vic returns to the living room with Grant where they discuss that Martin was found shot to death. And Grant says that the rumors that Vic killed him with a hammer will finally stop. Vic smilingly tells Charlie that he's a good player. He then tells his friend that he is Melinda's piano teacher. Grant realizes that Charlie is Melinda's new lover. Vic is angry at his wife and says she's driving herself into the abyss, and wants her to think about the family she has with him and Trixie. Melinda ignores his words and goes upstairs to bed. We see the pool party that Vic and Melinda attend at Jonas' house with all their friends. Charlie shows up at Melinda's invitation. She introduces Vic to him as her piano teacher. Charlie has no recollection of having previously seen Vic in his living room. Vic watches as Melinda and Charlie get closer at the pool. Shortly thereafter, it begins to rain, which forces everyone into the house. Vic and Charlie can't sleep, but they can't stay awake. Charlie is the only one who stays in the pool. After a few moments, we see Vic go inside alone. Melinda looks outside and sees Charlie floating in the pool face down. The guys pull him out and try to resuscitate him, but Don accidentally drops Charlie's body, hitting his head on the edge of the pool. However, they find out that he was already dead when they found him. The police come to question the guests, with Melinda directly accusing Vic of killing Charlie. But Vic denies it and says she's just upset. The detectives take both of them to different rooms for questioning. The police leave without finding any more evidence. Melinda is very upset that another one of her lovers is dead. They return home and Vic sits down next to his wife. Vic learns from Kelly that her husband Don has been having conversations behind his back, and Vic decides to invite them over for dinner. Vic and Don have a private conversation and Vic intimidates him. Don asks if he would be willing to take a lie detector test to prove he didn't kill him, and Vic agrees. Melinda, along with Don, hires private investigator David Ricciani to follow Vic. He quickly spots them and goes to Don's house, where he confronts him in front of Kelly and their daughter and shows him proof of bank records showing money transfers in Don's name. Vic watches Melinda return to her college boyfriend, Tony Cameron. In the evening, Vic overhears a conversation between his wife and Tony about going to Brazil and taking Trixie with him. Vic's anger begins to spiral out of control. Tony arrives at the Vanillins' house, where Vic shows him friendliness, and Melinda takes Tony to her bedroom while Vic watches them. Later, he confronts Tony outside and tells him that Melinda wants to show him something. He takes Tony deep into the woods where he leaves him alone and then throws a rock at his head. Tony trips over a rock and smashes his head, and the rock is killed. He then tries to hide Tony's body in the water, using his belt to tie his arms around the rock, and takes his wallet before drowning him. Vic returns home with a smile on his face. Later, Vic invites Melinda and Trixie to a picnic in the woods. Melinda begins to open up more to Vic after Tony stops returning her calls. He becomes concerned when Trixie almost stumbles upon Tony's body by the water. On the way back, Melinda remembers that she forgot her balloon. "You can sleep at my place tonight." "Sure. You're welcome." The next morning, Vic returns to try to drown Tony's body even deeper, and Melinda goes looking for Vic and instead finds Tony's wallet. Back at the ravine, Don approaches and confronts Vic. "What are you doing?" Melinda forgot her balloon. Unfortunately, a body pops up and Don runs away. Don gets to his car and drives off at full speed, but Vic chases him on his bike, taking a shortcut through the woods. Don keeps texting his wife that he was right instead of focusing on the road, and Vic appears in front of him, causing Don to swerve to avoid hitting him, causing him to drive down a large hill and crash his car. Don can't get away, but Don can't get away. Vic returns home to Melinda, reminiscent of the opening scene, who tells him she saw Tony before entering the house. She later burns Tony's papers, after which the movie ends. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, because it's very important, and also put likes and leave comments.